Welcome back to Studio Chatter, a successful radio personality dealing with the pandemic and a fight with cancer. Our next guest is always a ray of sunshine. Welcome Rebecca Cressman to the Chatter.
Thank you. Wow, I was like, who's that person dealing with that?
I want to know why you've never been a guest before. How did we let you get away?
I think there was a lot of years that I was just juggling, not just FM 100.3, and it's up in Salt Lake City, most of the studios. So I'm gone lots of times, 10 hours, 11-hour days. So as much as I, in spirit, we're like, those are my girls. That's why, it's because I'm often there. But with the pandemic, I'm broadcasting from Spanish Fork.
From your home?
Yeah. Usually one day a week I'll go into Broadcast House, which is the KSL building in downtown Salt Lake City. But now, yeah, I've got a room in my house that has you know, broadcast equipment and computers and mics, and we built this really, really cool broadcast studio out of PVC pipe and moving blankets. My husband and I were like total DIY.
Oh my
goodness. Yeah.
They didn't FM 100 did not send people down to do something like that?
They should have.
They should have.
What happened
Did they get you all the equipment though, like the mics and all that?
And we're a very romantic couple. We've been married 32 years, and I had said to him prior to the pandemic and prior to my cancer diagnosis, I need to really get a studio back into my house. It's been a long time. So for every special event for a year and a half, I would get, you know, headphones, a mic, a processor, and things like that.
I love that.
Honestly, the month before my diagnosis of cancer, we finished my last piece of equipment, and so we were ready to go for me to broadcast home if I needed to.
Wow.
So, so if you guys ever want to, after the pandemic, come over and, you know, hang out in my booth, you can.
So how
I would love to.
Share the differences, like being in front of a camera here versus radio.
It's a different animal, and you know, a number of years ago, I hosted television shows for BYU Television. So it's a whole team thing. There's incredible floor directors and producers and people editing and working, and you've got to worry about your hair. And I've never had good hair. Like, you guys are doing great, and you have to worry about your presence and like don't slump and all of this thing.
Yeah, I don't.
Radio is and radio is just about taking everything you have and focusing on a microphone in front of you and thinking of just one person and talking to that person. And so it's just you. There's no big room. And so I produce, I write my commercials, I edit them. It's a lot more individually, you know, one-man band. I mean, we do have commercial producers at the building with FM 100, but you do an awful lot of your own individual work.
I did
and it's
not
pretty
realize
intimate.
that. But I love your voice. It's
you're so nice.
soothing. It's like the music.
You don't love my hair?
And I love your hair.
Your hair,
Your
though.
voice is so attractive.
Your hair is new. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about how I love our river trail and I love to walk and run on it. And I was bald post chemo, and I'll just share that. And tonight I am wearing a leather jacket that belonged to my mom in the 60s and 70s because 12 years ago she passed away from breast cancer.
You are kidding.
And so I always knew that you know, 10% of women who get breast cancer, it's family history. So I knew that I had a higher risk. But 90% of the women who get breast cancer, it's because they're a woman, and these things occur in our bodies. But I was diagnosed in June of 2019. Sadly, it not only left my left breast, but also got into my lymph nodes, which meant chemo and radiation. And so the hair comes out, and now, wow, you're bald. And so I'll go back to the river trail because getting strong again is really important to me. And one day I saw Stacy out there, and I approached her and talked with her, and she didn't recognize me. And I forgot. I'm like, oh, people don't know who I am when I'm bald.
No, it took me a minute, but then I was like, yes, Rebecca.
Right? But it did. I was like, I needed to have a sticker.
It's like with the masks on lately. There's you don't recognize people because of certain features.
And Rebecca, I really think, had we ever met.
Yes.
When we met each other,
like in person.
Yes. Or were we just social media? Like, I knew of you, you knew of me, but when you approached me that day, I don't think we've ever met in person.
You know, that's interesting because you're probably right.
But you
so
felt like you knew each other.
I can feel connected to people so easily, whether it's virtually or over the phone.
Right.
I can accidentally tell a listener who calls FM 100.3, "Oh, I love you," and I get done. I'm like, "Oh, that was over the top, right?"
No.
You know, but
no. So I love that. I'm like, "Oh, I'm glad that she just knew who I was because she just came." Stacy, how are you? I'm like, "Oh, Rebecca knows I'm Stacy."
I know you. I voted.
But I think listeners can feel that way too. If they've listened to you for a long time, they feel like they really know who you are. And when they meet you, maybe out in a setting, they are like, "Oh, well, Rebecca, we've been friends for a long time."
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. And you come from a radio background too, so it is an intimate.
So go back to the So you're being healthy out on the trail.
Well, you know, exercising and keeping your body in a healthy weight zone lowers the risk of recurrence. And there's a 15 to 20% chance that this cancer will come back and get me within 5 years. So I will do everything I can to help my body be healthy and lower that risk, and exercising daily. So I'm finally up to running 4 to 5 miles a day. But,
running?
You see me often doing an interval. What's happened is I have to wear a fancy watch that tracks my heart rate.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm just moving, like I'm running on sunshine. And then all of a sudden it goes, your heart rate's like boop, 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 where it's in a like high zone.
Danger, danger.
Right. I'm like, what happened? I thought I was 28. So so I run, walk, interval. And
that's awesome.
So I'm very appreciative
impressed
of the city for having these beautiful trails because it's good for the mind, good for the soul. And this is the new hair that grew in. It grew in totally white.
Very nice.
Well, Natasha, it grew in totally white and really weird, missing a bunch on top. And so I've been slowly adding some darker colors.
It's still hair. You're still you're healthy. That's what's important.
Hair.
Right?
That's exciting.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was ever going to come back.
Oh.
So I was glad it did.
So what would you say to our viewers that are watching right now? How important is it to have that screening?
It's life or death. And, you know, I'm not going to name her Angie in this studio, but often people that we know, like Angie, had said that life can get really busy, and so if we get to get our mammogram, like Angie, and the only reason why I'm saying that, and I apologize for the comedy because it's really not funny, but I got a little busy, and it was 16 months between my mammograms, and in that time period, I went from having no detectable cancer to stage 2B. And had I gone in at 12 months, it's possible I would have been maybe stage 1A or 1B.
I have a history of it, and so I do understand the importance, and that's what's so shocking about it. It is.
And
it's a scary disease, but it is detectable.
It's detectable.
And it's curable. Yeah. But we do have to be proactive with it.
And if you catch it early is when it's most treatable. And if you don't get a screening because you're afraid, or it's still there. And it's
not going to go away.
It's going to grow more advanced. So when you find it early, there's that 98% chance of survival. That's 99%. That's what we want. So it is. Get the mammogram. And do it for the people who love you, and do it to live and take care of your health. So I'm huge fans, by the way. Happy 4th anniversary.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's fun to cross over, like have a big milestone, and 4 years. It's been a fun journey.
Yeah. That is.
How long have you been at FM 100?
I've been there 15 years.
Have you really?
I did KSL Radio for a little bit before that. I did BYU Television and BYU Radio for a bit before that, and then lived all over the country. I've been in Spanish Fork about 21 years.
Okay.
And look at our city and how it's changed. And I think that's why I love this, though, is like bringing people all together to get to know each other. It's pretty amazing.
So Rebecca, what's your schedule like on, are you every day at a certain time?
Every day, 10 to 3. Although since the cancer, they reduced it 10 to 2, although I'll go back in January.
For 5 hours? You're just talking.
No, it's music. It's music. Yeah. I got Angie's a dancer. So, yeah.
I just want to sing with her.
Come up when the pandemic's over. We'll have a celebration, and maybe it'll be your 5th anniversary.
Oh, let's do that.
But yeah, it's a lot of music and a little bit of talk.
Little bit of talk.
Okay. And mostly music, and it's really fun. Having done a lot of different formats, the whole goal of FM 100.3 is to make everyone have a good day and have fun, because life is serious.
Yes.
Yeah, politics, all of that stuff. I mean, we got a lot of serious things that happen, cancer, life.
Absolutely.
So we pause and help someone have a good day, and
let them escape that craziness a little bit.
Do you have guests on there, or is it just you talking?
Not in this format, and in middays, no. When I was a morning show host, that's so much fun.
And so do you just come up with what you're going to talk about that day, or do they kind of give you?
There are things that I'll embrace and talk about. You know, if we're having contests and things like that. You know, like when are we going to start playing Christmas music?
Yes.
Yeah.
When is it?
Okay, I can't
Monday,
tell you.
November 1st.
Enter the guess, and if you get the right date and time, you get $500 and a blanket from Minky Couture.
November 20th.
Sweet.
Yeah. Okay, you can't say it. Wait, I mean, you didn't hear that. Enter the guess on FM100.com.
All right, November 1st. I've listened to him before.
Do you know that more people listen to Christmas music in the country to FM 100.3 than any other radio station in the country? Did I say that right?
In the country? Like the whole country can listen to you guys?
No, I didn't say it right.
Okay. Anywhere in the country.
There are radio stations across the country that play Christmas music. Our radio station has more people that listen to it than any others, because it's about 1,300,000 people that listen to Christmas music.
Wow.
I know. To FM 100. So Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy
November 1st, 12 a.m.
Oh boy.
I'm right with you.
Yes.
You can enter guests every day.
Okay. There are already families that have elves on the shelves, people.
No, my daughter just got hers from Amazon,
I know.
but she said, "Oh, I'm so sad. I have to
Ours
pack
is in
it away for a
quarantine,
month."
just so you know.
Sad. Pack it away.
I like that idea.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
There's more studio chatter coming up.